Yeah.
Hi, Jackie.
Yes.
Feel free.
All right. So thanks for having me on. So appreciate it. I always love this team and talking to you guys because you guys are such a tight-knit group, and that's one thing that I love about this team, and that's what really stands out. Like when I think of Team Pure Simple Fitness, that's one thing that you guys represent is you truly are a tight-knit group. You're a family. And so it makes me feel good to be a part of that. So thanks for having me on. I have been a coach it'll be 12 years this summer. So a long, long time. I started this business when I was going through a divorce and a single mom and working full-time, as many of us are, full-time kids. I started it on just kind of on the side, working on my laptop a couple hours every night after I put my young son to bed. And then I met this coworker of mine, and
you actually hired him.
Yeah, I actually hired him, and I signed him up to be a coach. I was like, you have to be a coach, don't worry about it, but I want you on my team.
And put me in a really good spot.
And then we started dating, and as we got more serious, I was always like, look, I can come over for dinner date night, but I have to work. Like I have to get work done. So I'd bring my laptop, and he slowly started learning about the business. And then I used to have team calls Thursday nights with my upline, and it was like 10:30 at night, if you can imagine that. So I would always fall asleep, and he would stay up and listen to the call. So it really helped him start to become familiar with the business, and he got really interested in like the back office stuff. I'm more the warm, touchy, fuzzy, feely person on social media. He is like truly the mastermind brains behind the business. So fast forward, we got married 5 years ago. Spent 2 years trying to have our daughter Maya, who's 20 months old, and I get a lump in my throat every time I say it. We truly would not have her here with us without this business, because we had to go through IVF and insurance does not cover it, and it's very, very, very expensive. We call her the $1 million baby. But luckily, because of our business, that wasn't even a question for us. We were just able to truly focus on expanding our family. So, so Steve is the brains behind the business. He knows the back office really well. He knows coach placement. He runs reports for the team. He keeps track of the team. He can help with training. And I asked him to be on the call just for the beginning tonight, because we really truly wanted to recognize Nat as one of our top coaches for 2019. And I'll just let you talk a little bit about why and what that is.
Yeah, she said she wants me to come on and talk about Natalie, so that's easy to talk about. But, so I do this, what I call stats. I'm a football coach, so stats are important to me. But I just keep stats on everybody every month that's under Angie. So all her personal sponsors, so that's only Natalie out of you guys. But I see everybody, and I can see everybody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps below us and stuff like that. So I keep track of all that, and we put out on our team page that Natalie was one of our top coaches of the year, and she seemed kind of shocked that she thought she had a down year, but that got us to talking about why she still is one of the top coaches, and the biggest word that comes up is consistency. What you do today, tomorrow, the next day, for the next month, for the next 2 months, 3 months, it might not immediately affect your business. It might help your business really good for a while, but what you really do is create that consistency for the year. You can't work as hard, but you've put that in mind for the course of a year, 2 years, or 3 years, and then it's still happening, even though you might have a down year. For example, when we had Maya, obviously having a baby and being home with her and stuff like that, we have a huge advantage with that, but it still takes a huge hit to the amount of time we could put to our business. But because we've been consistent for so long, it really didn't impact our bottom line that much and impact our business that much. We were still able to, put as much time with her as we wanted to and still be able to be successful. So that's what Natalie's done. She's been consistent year in, year out, always looking to improve herself and improve her team and have calls and ask us to be on and answer questions. And in fact, I helped one of your coaches today. We were talking on
Michelle.
Facebook about her downline and where to put her next couple coaches. And, I wrote her something, and, she wrote back and said she was going to put it on the side of her computer, to reference and ask me any questions. And I'm more than willing to help look at it. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not going to tell you everything I say is gold, but I've been looking at this stuff for a long time and seeing, everybody's in a different spot and everybody has a different, business. Because of the spot that you're in, you have to approach it differently. Whether you have, X amount of people under you or nobody underneath you, whether you're in, a big spot or a little spot, whatever. So it really impacts the decisions you have to make as a coach. So I just wanted to give Natalie a shout out for her consistency and always being one of our top coaches. Even if she has a down year, she is definitely always at the top of our list. Always.
We love you, Nat.
Thanks, Steve. And thank you, Angie. Yeah, I was just shocked because I was sharing. My team knows this too. I thought it was going to be hard during the newborn stages, but it's worse in the toddler stage, especially when you have 2 toddlers. And that's where I was really struggling, and I felt like I wasn't investing as much. I didn't see my business building, but it built in other ways. I never stayed away. I never pushed you guys away. I was like, I have to stay connected with the team. I have to stay connected with Angie and Steve, and that's what it's all about. And even if you do the smallest little thing day after day, it will add up. It might not add up to what I was doing before, but it's okay. Angie always shares with me that we go through seasons, and my next season might be my big moment again, and that there's nothing wrong with that. So thank you. That's inspiring, and I know it's going to light a fire under me and the team. So we are excited.
Good. Well, I think, like I said, Steve is really good, about all the numbers, but
you're a robot.
you're a robot. You're all about stats and numbers, but, being the warm, touchy feely person and understanding that we do all have seasons in this business, I would also say that the one thing Natalie never has neglected, she's always been consistent with, is just investing her time in people. And, maybe this season didn't allow her to have a huge list of contacts or do a ton of follow-ups or even a ton of invites. But when you just provide value and share your journey and be consistent with that and truly have the best interest of helping people, that's one thing that has really helped her business stay consistent. So if I can just roll right into some tips to kind of give you guys, you don't have to stay.
If anyone ever has any questions, reach out to me. Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye. Yeah, you're out of here. Get out of here. I'm just kidding. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I wanted to share some information that I think would be helpful for you guys because, yes, Steve and I do this full time and we're at home and we are in complete control of our schedule, and we're now at the point where we can work when we want, or, sometimes as much as we want or as little as we want. But, obviously it all hasn't been like that. I built this business for years to get to this point. And like many of you, I built this business while I was working full time and while I was raising my son, who's now 17. But at the time he was young, and I still had to deal with all the challenges that we dealt with as a mom, and I was a single mom. And so it can be done. And I just wanted to give you resources to help that, because now being in the position where I'm at and I look back on where I started, my focus is to really make that whole process easier for coaches to be able to duplicate and get the success that they see other coaches have, but still be able to do that in a way where you can honor your priorities and you can squeeze it in during your downtime. And you, most importantly, don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I think that we can sometimes get easily distracted with the flashy things we see on social media by other coaches, and maybe even other coaches who do this full time, creating their own trainings and doing their own big email lists through MailChimp where they do automatic blah, blah, blahs. And you're like, oh, I can't do that. Or maybe I need to do that. Do I need to create my own training? Do I need to run Facebook ads? And you only have 30 minutes a day to really focus on your time with your business. So I think we need to reshift our focus back to utilizing what is already out there and truly just pouring ourselves into helping people and not worrying about the rest of the stuff, not getting caught up in the flashy other things that you see out there. So I wanted to let you know that there are a lot of resources out there that you guys can use, so you can really just focus your time on people, sending out your invites, inviting, following up. And then when they're ready to get started, you have a system that you can already plug them into. You have to remember that above everything else, the most important thing you need to be consistent with is just people. And if you take a look at, okay, if your ultimate goal, depending on what your goal is in the business, you know, for myself, and then, you know, when Steve came on board, our goal has always been a team, building a team, mentoring a team, and helping our team duplicate what we do in the business. But, you know, in order to have a team, you have to send invites. In order to have invites, you have to reverse engineer it. In order to have invites, you need to have someone to invite, and you need to have someone that you already have a rapport with. In order to have a rapport with someone, you need to have conversation. In order to have conversation, you actually need to send out an initial conversation to say hello or ask a question. So it's that cycle that we need to continually do. And even being in this business 12 years later, I'm still adding new friends on my platforms, starting new conversations, developing rapport, building relationships, sending an invite, following up, you know, and then getting them started either with a challenge group or as a part of our team. But you have to always remember it's about consistency and then letting it compound. So being consistent with those daily activities, like the things that I just talked about, and letting that compound over time. One of the very first books that I always recommend new coaches read is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. You can relate it to any area in your life. It talks about doing those small, mundane little things day after day, even if they don't seem important. Yes, Danielle, might not seem important today, might not seem important tomorrow or next week. That's my girl, Nat. But a year from now, all of those small things will make a huge difference over time. And it's the same thing that we talk to our customers about in terms of weight loss. Right? You're not going to see changes in a day, in a week, maybe even in a month. But if you stay consistent with it, stay the course, you will see big changes over time. So as the compound starts to happen, you have to continue to be consistent so it continues to compound, because the compound effect will always work towards you or against you. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why Nat earned that top spot on our team, is because she was consistent as heck in 2018, and maybe 2019 was a season where she didn't have as much time, but the time that she did have, she was still consistent as heck. Maybe it was just a shorter amount of time. And that's why she was named top coach on our team for 2019. So if I can just leave you with 3 tips that will really help you, and then offer you guys some resources to help you as well. If you're a newer coach, or if you're a coach that's kind of been like this, because this business has a lot of peaks and valleys, and maybe it's gotten away from you at times, but you're still here and it's always coming back to you, don't let the start stop you. Because a lot of people will say, if you don't fail, you'll never get there. So you have to experience these peaks and these valleys in order to grow your business over time. And those valleys are always going to be a part of it. There's always going to be times that you have challenge going on in your life, which makes the business harder to work. There's always going to be time where business is slow and you're not getting anything. You're not getting any new challenges. You're not getting any new coaches. That's just a part of the business. So remember that I'm telling you this now because it is going to happen. The difference is those people who push through those valleys, who push through the months where they're not getting any yeses, they're pushing through tough times in their life. Just remember that those parts are parts of the business you have to experience in order to succeed. And it still happens to, me month after month, or certain weeks or certain seasons that I still go through where I'm like, oh my gosh, if we talk in terms of Success Club, if you're familiar with that, I know there's been times I've gotten messages from Nat saying like, I only have 2 points this month. I don't know how I want to get to 5. I don't know how I'm going to focus on it. Whatever area your goals are, it's just a part of the business. So if you start to experience that, just remember, okay, I hit a valley. This is when I have to keep pushing, because it's only a matter of time where I'm going to hit a peak again in business. And then you're going to have a great month. And then guess what? Another valley, peak and valley. It's just a natural part of the business, or any part of success. They always say this is what success looks like. This is not success. So expect that that's going to happen, and don't let that hold you back from even starting the process, especially if you are a new coach. The second thing that I want to tell you or remind you is keep defining your why, but I'm not talking about your why in terms of why you are a coach. When you're a new coach, hi Katie, welcome. When you're typically a new coach in the business, you will hear, find your why, find your why, find your why. It was the first thing that my coach sponsor told me. And she said, why do you want to do this business? Okay, well, I was going through a divorce and I don't have to rely on no man for any money anymore. You know, I want to do my own thing. I want to be able to provide for my son. Like that was my why. It was my oh, Katie, that looks delicious. I really just wanted to be able to provide for my son as a single mom. And I wanted to leave my full-time job so I could, truly honor him as my priority. And then, of course, my why changed over time. So that's very important too. I'm not discarding that, but I want you to think about why you feel that our products, our services, and the coach opportunity is important. Not just important to you, but why you think it's important for other people. And that's something that you don't have to answer right away, but give that some thought. And let's say you say, you feel like for me, I feel like the coaching opportunity is so important for other people because it has a far greater impact on their life outside of just their fitness. And then I want you to dig deeper to keep defining that. Well, why is that important? Well, I know it's important because for me, I wouldn't have gotten through some of the biggest challenges in my life without the team. Okay, well, why is that important? Continue to define the why. Because for me, I don't have a lot of local friends and I don't have a lot of local people who I connect with. And so this really fills that void in my life. Keep defining that why in terms of products, services, coaching opportunity, all the resources that we have, because that's really, really important. And then the last thing that I want to tell you is, as I mentioned before, there's going to be times in your life where you are challenged, you're going through your own personal struggle. And one thing that I've learned that I so hope that you come to realize one day is I've learned that it actually helps me to help other people with their fitness and their business when I'm going through that struggle, to help someone else with a struggle, right? Because it starts to really make you feel better about whatever you're going through, and it makes you feel more positive when you can put positive energy out on someone who needs it. And build this business in a way that's selfish for you. So, again, when I look back when I started this business, I was a single mom and again, didn't have a lot of, local friends. And so I just figured, okay, this is going to be my support group, right? The people that I'm looking for are going to be the people that I want to help, but I also need support from them. And I connected with a lot of single moms in that way. And Andrea Sims, perfect example. She's one of our leaders on our team as well. She's a single mom of 3 girls, and she works so hard with her business. She's an amazing mom. I can't say enough great things about her. I'm very lucky that she is local. But we just were able to support each other so much on our journey as being single moms, but also in the business. And so when you are in a time of struggle in your life, I really want you to lean into the business. And a lot of people will say, I do this business, I connect with my business to kind of get away from my life. But I want you to lean into the business to allow yourself to gain more control of your life and allow yourself to create your life. Because this business is whatever you make of it. You're the CEO. You can build it as big as you want, as little as you want. You can help 100 people. You can help 1 person. And but you have to be selfish about it. So look for the people that you want to look for, but also look for the people who might be looking for you. And you can build this business to truly impact the lives of others, but to impact your life as well. The last thing that I want to mention is, in order to make this business as easy for you as possible, I wanted to share with you our Platinum Presenters resources, because I constantly get questions on, Like I'm working with one of my new coaches, Jessica, now, and she's amazing. She's like, okay, I gave her a 7-day training, and then she's like, okay, I'm ready to start my challenge group. What do I do? And so then I gave her a 5-step process for challenge groups. She sent me a message yesterday on Facebook. Hey, I have a coach signing up. What the heck do I do? And I was like, what? You've been a coach for like a minute. And she's like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have her sign up because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. We're here to guide you. And she's like, but I don't have a training system in place. And I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And so we have those resources there. So that goes back to don't let the start stop you, because you guys have each other as a team. You have me as your upline. You, of course, have Nat. And then you have my greater upline, Christine Dwyer, who is the CEO of her team name is Platinum Presenters. And so us being under that umbrella, we're all a part of Platinum Presenters. Platinum Presenters represents over 410,000 coaches in the network. So we are really the largest team in the entire Beachbody coach family. And she has a website that's available for us. She, of course, her and her husband work the business full-time as well. And the name of the team and the resources are called Platinum Presenters. So what I want you to do to put on your to-do list tonight is go to www.platinumpresenters.com. You'll register to become a member. So you'll need your name, your email, your coach ID, and then your coach sponsor's name. Enter that in there. For some reason you don't know your coach sponsor's name, put Nat's name. You can even put my name. It's just something that needs to be recognizable to Christine. You'll get approved to be a member of that website. It's free, and there are tons of resources in there. And we recently really started to focus on collaborating with them to use their resources. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Nobody has to reinvent the wheel. It's all been done for us. Everything is listed on the Platinum Presenters website when you get to the homepage. I also have a Word document that has all the resources laid out too. And Nat, if I send that to you, you can upload it to your team page. But there's 4 things that I want to highlight. You might already be familiar. Number 1, we have a workout room via Zoom. It's open 24/7. It's something that I strongly encourage you guys log into when you're working out every day. I also encourage you to give it to all of your coaches and your customers. Help them understand that this whole business, Team Beachbody, is greater than them. It's greater than you. It's greater than me. It's greater than Christine. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys have been using it, which is awesome. So log in there. Every time I've logged in, there's been somebody there, and I work out like random hours because I schedule. But there's always other people working out there, and it's cool. You'll be muted. You can see other people. They can see you unless you want to turn your camera off. It's just like this, except we're working out. You can open the chat box, virtually high five each other. It's super, super cool. So I would get that link and just have that link handy and use that, and also make sure you always give it to your customers and encourage them to use that. No one should ever have to feel like they're alone, and this is just one more thing that will help them feel like they're a part of our family, because they are. The second thing that I have, second and third go hand in hand. Every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we offer calls for the team to help you guys grow your business. Thank you, Jackie. And we alternate. So the first and third Thursday of the month, we do a new coach orientation. So, and again, all this information is on the website, and I'll send the document to Nat. So the first and third Thursday of the month, you basically are able to send any new coaches there, or you can join it yourself. And it's one of our top coaches in the business leading a 30-minute new coach orientation. They'll tell you how to set up your website, how to do the share a cart, information that you need to know to set up your electronic funds to get paid, steps on getting started for a challenge group, how to make your announcement post on Facebook, how to get your first 2 coaches on your team so you can move into Emerald rank. They review all of that. And so I encourage all of you guys to attend one of those and then start sending your new coaches there. On the second and fourth Thursday of the month, I hope I didn't get those mixed up, we have business opportunity calls. So it's a what is coaching presentation. And that's a great third-party tool for you guys because you don't need to talk to people about it. All you need to do is find people, have a conversation with them, ask them if, let them know what you do as a Beachbody coach, and let them know, ask them if it's something they would ever consider, because you would love to have someone like them on your team. And then you will send them to that business presentation. It's a 30-minute business presentation. PowerPoint slide talks about different aspects of what we do as coaches, so your guests can see if it's a good fit for them. So I have them all written on my calendar. You can see my calendar up there, but I stagger it because it really keeps me accountable. So every week I shoot to send at least 5 people to that business presentation, follow up with them, and then the following Thursday I send them to the new coach orientation, and I just keep staggering it that way. And so I highly, highly recommend that you guys take advantage of those resources, because especially as a new coach, you're like, I don't know what to say. I might word vomit. Don't worry about it. We've got your back for both of those, and we can take that for you. So let me open up the chat box. Can you promote as a tool of yours to invite to? Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you get to the point, though, where someone is interested, you either want to register them, you'd need their email, or you'd want to send them to the site to register themselves so they can get the Zoom link and all the call information. That's a great idea, Danielle. I think I'm going to start doing that every week. Thanks for the idea.
And Angie, can I chime in?
Yeah.
So I was listening to Platinum Presenters podcast, Christine Dwyer's podcast, and she was talking, I think she was actually on Danielle and Tony's team call or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a really good call because she was talking about how also, guys, when you have somebody that's interested and you add them, you get their email and you invite automatically, is going to send them reminders. You don't have to do anything, and it's not going to be spam mail afterwards. Literally, they're going to get an email maybe that day, thanks for registering for the webinar or whatever. And then they'll get one an hour before the call, hey, hope to see you. The call starts in an hour. And then they'll get one call starting in 5 minutes. And then they'll get one more after. If you miss the call, here's the recording. Because, a lot of people will be like, sure, I'll be on it, but then they're not. And then and then it's an opportunity to follow up with them. So I thought that was really great.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely take advantage of that, you guys. And then the last thing that I want to share with you, which is so helpful for your business through Platinum Presenters, are our power hours. So we have Zoom calls like this every single day as a part of Platinum Presenters, led by a top coach. You get on a Zoom like this, and it's 60 minutes of work led by a top coach. Sometimes I'll lead them. We have different people leading them, and they're various times throughout the day, like 9 a.m., lunchtime, evening, weekends. And especially if you're a new coach, or if you sit down and you're like, I don't know what to do, jump on these power hours as much as you can. It gives you accountability. It'll tell you what to do. The leaders will guide you, and they'll even give you scripts if you need that, if they feel like that is helpful. That is a game changer in your business. And yes, Danielle, you're right. Everybody has a different style, and you don't have to stand for an hour. If you only have 20 minutes, you can stay on, hop off. But that's a really great way to help you figure out what to do in the business so you can continue to just work on your own. And listen, you don't, depending on what type of business you want to build, you don't need to have a ton of time to do this, and you don't have to feel like you need a ton of time to do this. You can work this business in small pockets throughout the day, throughout your week, just by, again, being consistent with your own journey, sharing that on social media, inviting people to join you, and then plugging them into the resources that Platinum Presenters has for you to do that. So I'm always here. Anytime you guys need anything, we can connect on social media, and you'll see my Facebook page when I jump in on Nat's team page, or I think she tagged me. So you have access to that. Send me a friend request, message me. I'm totally here for you guys and to help you guys grow. Like I said, this is what I do full time. I love it. I'm here 12 years later, and I'm not going anywhere unless Beachbody boots me out for some reason. It truly has been the best decision I have ever made for myself, my family, and my future. And I'm glad that you guys are part of it too. I'm excited. So any questions? Nat, anything you want to add?
No, I just encourage everybody. I think that, we've had access to this website even for years, and I know I have never used it. It's awful. Like, I log on, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff. And then I don't like, why are we not using this, guys? So that's the one thing that Angie is trying. They're trying, like, even her upline. We want to work together as a team. We want to utilize these resources. So we just have to make it a part of our team now. And so I think the more that we can all log on and share, hey guys, I saw this video, like, it's really great, like, log in here, and the more we get to know it, the more we're going to want to talk about it and share with our future teammates and our challengers. So
Absolutely. And there is literally a step-by-step training on there for new coaches or for you guys. So it's just like Nat said, it's just about becoming more familiar and utilizing the website until you get comfortable, and then, being able to send that to your new coaches. So
thank you, Angie, for being on as always. And it's always great to see all your lovely faces. Katie, we miss you. Thanks for being on. Angie, you can log off if you want. We'll probably chat a little.
Oh, okay. All right. You guys, thanks so much.
Bye,
Thank you.
Angie.
Bye.
Angie.
I just